How long has it been? 9 months since an actual Sander Sides episode? I get that they're hard to make, but it's time to party now. And yes, I'm filming this at 1 in the morning because apparently it's impossible to avoid spoilers. I was like, oh, I can do this till morning, but I can't. The second I opened up TikTok, and this was a couple of hours ago, this was like maybe max 2 hours after it was released, I opened up TikTok and like about 30% of my feed was specifically audios from this episode and like Sander Sides cosplays, and I'm like, holy crap, they're fast, and they got in cosplay right after the episode, dang. But yeah, once I saw that, I'm like, okay, I've got to do this tonight, because I'm not, because literally as soon as I saw it was uploaded, I went to Instagram and I opened it and I got like a huge spoiler, and I'm like, damn it. So that's why I'm doing this now. So, I'm sorry if I like miss something or just kind of zone out. My focus isn't very good at the moment. Hopefully I can maintain it though. This episode is going to be really exciting, and I'm super excited for this. Like, my heart is actually kind of beating fast, and I never get reactions like that. I'm never that excited about things. So, yeah. Putting others first. Selfishness versus selflessness. Redux. I actually don't know what redux means. I'm sure I'll find out later. It's a 51-minute episode. Thomas, can you please stop uploading at like 11 at night and making your episodes an hour? This happens every time. It's fine, I don't mind. I'm curious how the video game-esque stuff is gonna like be incorporated into this, because I can't see any logical like segue that it would be related to video games, so I'm quite interested. It's probably just one of those like random like themes that they come up with like in the spur of the moment, like courtroom or puppets. It doesn't necessarily have to relate, but it just, I don't know, makes the episodes cooler. Okay. Without further ado. Hopefully I'm not too loud. Everyone else in my house is asleep. I was about to go 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3. I can't count. Okay, Thomas is at the wedding, and he's bored on his phone,
Thomas!
as he
Oh
predicted.
My gosh, you made it! We're so happy to see you.
How you doing, you beautiful man?
Pretty rough, actually. Life is pain.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry for calling you beautiful. That was weird. My bad.
This is so cool. I like to. I can't read this fast.
You
No.
can call me beautiful, Mary Lee.
I always do beautiful.
Thomas just looks so dead inside.
It's the marriage.
Anyway, what's new, Thomas? Anything exciting going on?
Cameraman.
Hey, you okay, buddy? You look real sad in this photo I just took. No worries.
Poor Thomas. This is just painful to watch.
First dance.
Oh, sorry, Thomas. Gotta go.
It was so great seeing you.
Crushed. Oh, I get it. I like that.
Guess who just got a callback for an Alfred Hitchcock Lucas movie? When is the callback? April 13th. He has a prior engagement that day. The wedding. Nobody's perfect. Except for Thomas. He loves his friends. I want to go to the callback.
I hereby sentence you to 1 day at the St. Clifford's Chapel on the day of Lee and Mary Lee's wedding.
April 13th. Poor Thomas.
What the f, everybody? Now, kiddo. If you're gonna dish out Fs, why don't we make them friendly hugs? F friends, Patton. Oh, wait, you're talking about friendly hugging your friends? No! Thomas, you should never. I mean, I'm surprised
Oh,
that
he's
you
trying
would,
to not be
say
open.
something
He's
like
trying
that,
not to be like
about your
strict.
friends. I always thought that when it came to your pals, that sort
He's
of
already
language
off to a
would
good
be
start. He's
ineffable.
trying.
Oh, it's very effable. Effable as F with a situation this. You're not at all.
This is a mood. I'm sorry.
Excited for them? With so much F use thrown about, I doubt there's much he'd like to F use about. Right, what do you mean, am I not? Okay, you know what? Let's review. Review. Let's do. Thank you. I hope we rhyme like
Already off to a song.
So too. Yoo-hoo! So, let's start with the fact that the wedding was a total bust. It
beat
was.
game
It's just
thing.
that going didn't pay off quite like we discussed. You
Damn.
also think that going to a wedding to support your friends would have any sort of self-serving ends? I don't, but how about more than just hello? Yeah, something's iffy. Glad you're with me. That the state of things is icky. Is there something here we're missing? Maybe. No! I mean, you know that we've gone through all of this before. We four hit
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
Wedding over your... Spare me the rest. Yes, but
It's going so fast, I don't want to miss
could
anything.
have been my break. Yeah, you could say. And no one wanted you to go more than that slimy snake who pushed to do the egocentric thing auditioning. Yeah, that's Deciet. A part of you so
Wait, it's Ace Attorney! Oh my god, that almost flew right over my head. I just started watching that.
You were saying that we both have lost our way, but in your face I saw
I was
this
not
pain,
expecting
and
this
so I
reference.
made this choice, and now I have a restless head. In my bed, I'll just feel this way. What way? The way a groom might feel if he just watched as his bride ran away. But you're gay. I'm saying if I made the right choice, why don't I feel right? You may not tonight,
you're
but in
gay.
time you might. I don't know. I think this feeling's here to stay. It is a pity to admit he could
Hey,
have done
his
more
outfit
than
has
just
4
sitting
stripes
at
on
the
that,
wedding feeling
but not in
what
reality.
doing
And I know that because I
Boy, how could
messed
such
up
an
on his
upsetting
costume
conversation
animated.
happen in such a fun way?
yeah, I missed half of
Just
it. He's so
talk to us.
fast and cool.
More. Wait a minute. Why didn't I just talk to them before the wedding? I mean, I kind of brought that up before, but it got shut down faster than an Antarctic ice pop shop, so... Oh my gosh, I'm so stupid. I could have just told them everything. If my one interaction with them was any indication, they obviously wouldn't have cared if I wasn't there at all. Maybe so. Wait, are you having second thoughts about choosing to go to the wedding, Roman? Oh, no. Of course not. I just wish
Yeah,
we
he
could have known
was.
how they felt. Maybe it could have, I don't know, made things a little easier for us. Well, you know, hindsight is 20/20, so.
I'm
Okay,
feeling
but if
Thomas
you're a
having
sighted
gone to this
person with
event
less than 20/20
and
vision,
missing
you
out
don't
what
just
really mattered to him,
ignore
really.
whatever you see in front of you.
And now it's too late to change it. I'm
I see.
feeling this.
We should start looking into ways to predict the future. No. Very good. What I'm saying is I know Lee and Mary Lee. I can predict how they might act in specific situations. I know that they are very understanding people, and I should have used that knowledge. That would have been using foresight. But I didn't do that. So I made a decision with a blindfold.
Are we gonna be playing like a
In
dating game
Patton's
of like
defense,
scenarios that he
people
thinks that
are
they
complicated
like? He said he
pickle
thinks
things,
they
aren't
he know has.
You think you know someone, and then wham! Out of nowhere,
I can't
they
words.
fill your apartment with feral cats, and now you're somehow responsible for the vet bills? You've got to give them away, but despite your cat allergy, you've endeared yourself to them, especially to Mrs. Snuffles. More like Mrs. Sniffles, because of the allergy.
I feel that. What just
Your
happened?
point being, foresight isn't really the most reliable tool that we have. Cool, so we don't use it at all? We did use it. You've known Lee and Mary Lee for most of your life, and they've always lent a helping hand when you needed it. That's true. When your car broke down an hour out of town, who was the only person willing to come out and give you a jump? Mary Lee. I don't know what good she thought jumping would do. What you needed was somebody to fix your car. And Lee always had my back in high school after I came out. Exactly. Now here, they met up with you face to face to tell you about their wedding engagement. Biggest day
Aw.
of their lives.
You'd think
And
they would have cared more when he
asked
was
you
there then,
you
if they-
could be there. I
If
wasn't
they
even
like
a
met up in
groomsman.
person to ask him and then didn't really care if he was there.
Not Lee's fault that he has so many brothers. Catholics. Nah, Catholics. Baby-making Catholics. We didn't have the first clue how it would make them feel. You thinking about giving their wedding a pass, all because of a callback that
I'm looking at
really
Patton's hair and I
might
need
not
to fix
work
it.
out. And not that you're not a talented guy. No, yeah. Dame Judi Dench, or as I like to call her, Queen Groovy Bench, didn't land her first big Hollywood movie role until she was 61. So maybe they understand. But maybe they still really want you to go to the wedding and feel too guilty to say so. Or maybe you end up going to the wedding and they feel guilty seeing you there because they feel like they took a big opportunity away from you. But they wouldn't have felt that way. But we didn't know that. Foresight means thinking about every possibility. Talking to them about it could have been harmful.
not as harmful as us being in this frenzied of a debate whether we should have done it or not.
Talking to them worth it, though?
Yeah, no.
I don't know. Whatever happened to karma, you know? You do something good, good stuff happens to you. Right, yeah.
Honestly?
Why is the saying, karma's a bitch? Why can't it be, karma is
fair
a very
or
fair
something?
person?
Yeah.
Why does their complexion matter? Well, kiddo, unfortunately, life isn't always like your video games. Sometimes you can make all the good choices and still not
They're
get the
video
good
games.
ending. I don't know if there even was a good ending to get. I'm pretty sure there was.
I think there was.
He's a jolly good
Fellow,
fellow, which nobody
nobody
can
can
deny.
deny.
Which nobody can deny. Roman, well, that actually does sound jolly good. I mean, sure, it does sound very jolly, and we can all agree that you are a good fellow. Can we all agree on that?
Oh, yes, I can. We can all.
Okay. I understand now that I have been a little much the mayor of Muchkinland. Sure, when it comes to giving Thomas the
That's so
third degree
dumb.
on his integrity. Right.
my
And
goodness.
yeah, it is my job to keep you on Santa's nice list. But I haven't been making you feel very nice. I don't want to make you think you're some
Stupid, dirty, rotten, filthy, silly, Billy, no good for nothing,
Calm down, Roman.
rat, scoundrel, bitch.
Okay, thank you, Roman, for your help. You're welcome. I'm done asking, is Thomas a good person? I'm just here now to help you be as good as a good bud should. Okay, well, that's
Wow.
a relief.
Sound more like something Roman
So,
would say.
yeah,
So
you
many rhymes.
are a good fella.
Okay.
But not every good fella gets a big award.
Do we get a bunch of songs in this episode?
Well, what do
I'm hearing
we
the-
get?
I'm hearing the music.
Sometimes It's just this.
A bagel?
What? No, maybe.
You know what people like? Bagels!
No, what? Maybe. No, nothing. It's nothing. Sometimes you can't get anything because a lot of the time, people need something more than you do. Like, let's say you pass by some sort of stop where you can buy
Frog.
games. A game store.
GameStop.
You mean the internet? I'm not going outside. Oh, come on,
Fine.
Roman.
Fair.
Video games mean so much indoor time that they should cost a little outdoor time, don't you think? Anyway, you see a poster for the latest installment in the Frogger franchise.
Ugh, you're such a dad.
Buddy, Frogger's not really a big
He's such a
thing
dad.
anymore. And they're missing out. There is no video game character as cool as Frogger. Heck, he eats fly for breakfast. Okay. And trying to cross a busy road without losing his froggy life? Whew. Talk about riveting. Like, you're such a dad that it's too much to handle
I
sometimes.
think the franchise kind of
Everyone's
croaked a long
raving
time
about
ago,
the
though,
new
if you know what I
Frogger.
mean.
Best one yet. Amazing graphics. At least 16 graphics.
Do you even
At
have
least-
one right now?
And oh yay, it's on sale
Hey.
for about, I don't know, as much as a hot dog is worth. Patton, that's how much you get when you return a game. You have just enough money to buy it, but as you walk up to the door, you're stopped by a homeless, down on his luck actor. And
Who is it?
Whoever you want. Oh, come on, Patton. How is Thomas supposed to feel empathy for this person if he has no one to visualize? Alrighty, it's
Who is it?
Leslie Odom Jr. What? Why Leslie? I need backstory for this. What happened, Pat? I don't know. He spilled his drink on Stephen Sondheim at a party, and Sondheim said, "Gosh darn it, Leslie, you'll never work in this razzle-dazzle town again." He should just move to another town, right? Wow, this hypothetical version of Stephen Sondheim sounds like a real mother crupper. So, Mr.
There's a lot of, like,
tells you
cursing
that
and
he's
almost
very
cursing in this
hungry,
episode.
and he points you to a nearby hot dog vendor. It's just a few yards away. By the liquid lipstick of William Shakespeare, a hot dog would cost Thomas his entire Frogger fund. It's all coming together. What do? Pretend you're talking on the phone so he leaves you alone? Tell him, I don't have any money, Leslie. Hightail it the heck out of here. Buy him a hot
I don't have
dog,
any money.
or
I'm gonna
do
walk
you
right into this
hightail it the
game
heck
store
out?
and come out with a game now,
And I really,
with no money.
really want this Frogger game.
Yeah, you do. You woke up at 6 a.m. dull to go and get it. 6 a.m. dull? Do you
First
mean
of all,
sharp?
it's not that
That's
much.
really early for you. So you weren't quite able to get out
It
of bed
wouldn't
until
take that long to
6 or
come
8.
back,
Well,
like,
regardless, of
tomorrow
course, I
with,
buy
like,
him
another
the hot
couple
dog.
of
So you
dollars.
mustered up the will to give him a dinner that he
Mustard.
could relish. Only,
Relish.
when he takes the hot dog, he
Hot dog.
walks away without thanking you. What do you do now? Do you say, "You're welcome," in a way that lets him know you think he was rude? Do you prompt him by saying, "What do you say?" Do you physically take the hot dog back? Or do you go about your day?
I mean,
I go
there's
about
an
my
obvious
day.
right answer here.
Please don't tell me you're going to wrestle Tony Award-winning actor Leslie Odom Jr. for a hot dog.
What? No.
Even if he didn't say anything, it'll still help him.
Even though he didn't say thank
Hello
you, he
advertisement.
doesn't have to.
Switch.
Just
Yeah,
like
I
you
know I don't
didn't
have a
have to
Switch.
get
Leave me
hot dog.
alone. I know I'm left out
I
of
feel
this
like
whole
you kind of do, though.
freaking Animal Crossing
Maybe.
thing. Whatever.
You don't need the new Frogger. Well, no one needs a new Frogger. Why do you think Thomas has to give the money, Patton? Well, because that money was going to a luxury item. In that situation, it's so easy. It's all right in front of you. A hungry person comes up to you and says, "I need food." And the food I need is right there. You have the money. And it wasn't going to something you needed.
There should be
You can
no
disagree,
personal obligation to
I
give
feel
away
like
your
it
money.
Might be
It should be
kinda
a personal choice.
wrong to keep the money
Personally,
for yourself.
I would get
Mamma mia! Jesus Christ, superstar! What is that?
It's just
Logan's
me,
lowdown.
Logan. I've taken this form because I didn't want to be too invasive.
You very much did not
Oh my
succeed. What you
goodness!
do in Logan?
Well, determining what feels right
This
or wrong
is so
for you
cute.
isn't really my area of expertise. Seeing how there's not
Correct.
much left at stake at this juncture, and that regret, unfortunately, is a process that can't be expedited, I decided that I need not expend too much energy on this matter. However, I
Too
felt
many
that
feelings.
It would behoove all parties involved if I provided relevant information to serve as supporting evidence to any of the arguments
That's
that
so
I made during
cool.
today's discussion.
Neato! So you're making your little factoids optional this time around.
Facts. Factoid is a term coined by Norman Miller to describe false facts invented for magazines in order to manipulate their readers. And
Really?
yes, I suppose they could be viewed as optional, your two
didn't know that.
options being informed or
Interesting little
ignorant.
fact.
I've got this one, guys. I'm just kidding.
Crap,
Roman,
I missed
shouldn't
what the
people's
question
fun.
was.
Enough joking, Roman. Go on, Logan. Jesus Christ, superstar.
Thank you, Thomas.
Oh! Guess I won't be wrestling a hot dog away from Logan. Cause he thanked me. I'm
That
sorry.
was bad. Let's just move on.
Let's go ahead, Logan.
Yeah.
Oh, holy hero, we gotta read. It would be an estimated annual cost of $20
Thank God you're
billion
reading
to
that for me.
eliminate homelessness in the United States, according to Mark Johnston, the
Why is this me when I play anything?
$20 billion on Christmas decorations and flowers every year, so it would seem that many Americans do have the currency to spare to end homelessness in the United States forever. Whew,
Oh, we
okay.
made it that.
I'm not doing that again. I am sorry. That was too fast. Can you one more time, Roman? Yeah, I guess everyone doing their small part for those in need could make a difference. Yeah, and even if I can't change things on my own, something as little as briefly helping a greatly troubled, prodigious actor would still give me more pleasure than playing Frogger. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it's Frogger we're talking
Plus, you
about.
can come
Like,
back
it's not like
any
Kingdom
other day and
Hearts.
get
Yeah,
Frogger.
as
You
long
won't
as
be able
that's
to find
not
this
the
guy
main
again to
reason
give him
you're
money.
doing it.
For food.
What? Oh, well, you shouldn't do a good thing just because it makes you feel good. I think. You literally said the opposite
Now
to
you're
Deceit
losing
when we
me.
were back in the courtroom. Yeah, I did. But we all agreed that in that situation, the right thing to do was go to the wedding, which didn't feel good at all. So, yeah, I was wrong. Not to mention, Deceit said that you'd be doing the right thing for a selfish reason if you did it for your own emotional gain. And you agree? Definitely! Maybe? Great. I love that movie. I mean, you know, I think so. What do you think? Oh, well, I think we all know I'm not exactly an expert in the moral medium. No, go ahead, Roman. I'd like to hear from you.
Yes, your
Okay.
opinion matters.
I don't know how much it matters why you do something. What do you mean? Oh, it was nothing. It was stupid. Oh, no,
No,
please
explain.
Continue. Yeah,
Thank you for prompting him.
I'm sorry, Roman. Okay. So, like, say a very handsome prince. Who's the prince? I don't know. Leslie Odom Jr. Oh, wow! guess old Sondheim couldn't keep him down. Yeah, that's right. From homeless and royally screwed to castle-dwelling royalty, dude. Just your typical Tuesday. Anyway, Leslie offers up a reward. What's the reward? Leslie's famous cake. Phrasing. What? Leslie's literal cake that he baked. Oh my gosh. He offers it to whomsoever is able to rescue his kingdom from the clutches of the skewed-bellied tyrant who is currently occupying said kingdom. Even if someone rescued the kingdom for the reward?
Wow.
I don't know.
Deceit.
I just feel like
You're looking a bit
it
weird
doesn't
there.
make much of a difference so long as all of the denizens are liberated? Huh, that is something that, I don't know if it's right. You don't know if it's a good thing that everyone was saved? Well, Patton, there can be a side with valid doubts about a complex moral issue. Of course, I think it's good that the kingdom is safe. That's great. The most important thing. But, you know, the people in this kingdom are suffering at the slimy hands of this reptilian rapscallion. I was just blanking on the word guy, but, you know, sure. People are being hurt by this reptilian with scallions. No, and this person doesn't care about them? They just want to earn some reward? That doesn't sound like a very good person to me. Yeah, probably not. Fair enough, but I wouldn't even argue for that much. Saving people for a reward is totally different from helping someone out just because it feels nice to help. Like, if the person in Roman's scenario saved the kingdom just because it made them feel good, then no one would
Logan,
argue
I
that they
can't
aren't a
read
good
and
person.
listen.
Well,
Logan!
I mean, maybe not. Am I not allowed to feel good if I do something good? Well, of course you are.
I'm sorry, Logan, I can't read and listen!
Why
Logan,
you
not now!
do it. At least, I don't think so. But I mean, your morality, you're the guy who makes that call, so why do we do it? Well, you don't do it because it makes you feel good. You do it because it's the right thing to do. Okay. How do we know it's the right thing to do? You just know. Yeah. Okay. That's
Not
not
in every
exactly the kind of answer
situation.
I was hoping for, but well, it's kind of just in all of us, you know? Why is killing and stealing illegal everywhere? Is it? Why do we all agree that that's not okay to do? I think it all comes back to empathy. Humans understand each other. We know what feels good
I
and
like the new soundtrack.
what causes pain. If a whole kingdom is in danger, well, everyone kind of knows that the right thing to do, if you can save a large group of innocent people, is
Save the people.
save them. Well, okay. What about, let me ask you this. What if you can only save the large group of people by hurting another innocent
the trolley
person?
dilemma.
That causes pain, but you said the right thing to do is to save the group? Can't hurt an innocent person.
Oh my gosh. Grammarly, go away. Oh.
Constructive criticism, you know, maybe not depict scenarios where my friends
got his
die.
flashcards.
Okay.
Trolley problem.
I'm really
Hey.
not trying to argue with you, Patton, but you said everyone knows that it's right to save innocent people when you can. Is that not always true? Well, not when it's like that. It's never okay to hurt an innocent person.
I'm gonna have to go rewatch this and look at whatever Logan's saying.
You know
What?
we don't like to use the T word in this house. Oh, sorry. So the rule about not hurting people overrules
I missed what he said.
the rule about saving people. Yeah, that makes sense, right?
I am so lost.
But what about the people that got hurt? That was a terrible tragedy that you couldn't do anything about. But you could have done something. You could have redirected the train. But that something wasn't an okay thing to do. Okay, so it's not about the end result then. It's about the how. Like how you do whatever you do. Right. The how. And the why. You don't let the train hit the group of people because you think they deserve to get hit more than the one person.
Oh my gosh.
Patton, my blinds!
I am so sorry.
Did you break my blinds?
I popped up too close there.
Oh, thanks, Roman.
He used his
You really
sword.
cut the tension there.
You okay?
Oh yeah, I'm great.
You sure?
No, I'm good. Figment of your imagination. So okay. So about the whole why thing. What is a good why when it comes to why I should do good? I know you said earlier you do it because it's right. So I guess what I'm asking is, what do I do it for? What's the outcome? What motivates me? I mean, I don't have all the answers, but I would say putting more good into the world. I wish that was a more satisfying answer, but it just isn't. You know, I'm not doing a really great job explaining this philosophy. Logan, what would a real philosopher think about what I'm saying here?
Well, Friedrich Nietzsche really wouldn't have been thrilled with anything you've had to say. Primarily because pity seems to be at the center of your idea of putting good into the world.
That's not what
Nietzsche famously rejected the notion that pity was a virtue. He once claimed that pity runs counter to the instincts that preserve and enhance the value of life. So Thomas is...
Well, you can't exactly learn how to care about others from a book, can
How
you?
dare you? You asked him for information.
Okay, Patton. I mean, I don't really agree with the mustache meister either.
He does have a super duper unique mustache.
What he calls pity, I call empathy, and empathy is good. But I really don't understand what I need to change so that I can meet your standard of having the right motivation.
I think I understand. Your desires are getting in the way.
The problem is, in all honesty, that you want to spend your money on that new Frogger game more than you want, or even think, to give your money to the homeless. And that you wanted to go to that callback more than you wanted to support your friends. The blame falls to me. If you're missing that do-gooder drive, I think it's because I'm in the driver's seat. And I'm an awful driver. Perhaps
Did you ever have a driving test? You're a figment.
Perhaps I should let Patton take the wheel. Roman, I only mean well when I say that that is the stupidest thing you have ever said.
No, Thomas. You're just blowing smoke.
Really, Roman, it's the opposite. I need you on my team more than anyone. If we're talking about a drive or Thomas's will, then there's honestly no side more helpful than you.
I mean,
Yeah, you're his hopes and dreams.
I guess.
But I get why Roman's confused.
If he only listened to Patton, he would do
I don't
everything
know what
selflessly
form the
and would never
drive
be
you're
happy
talking
himself.
about would take. Everything I do is motivated by some sort of feeling. I eat because I feel hungry. I drink because I feel thirsty. I don't know what feeling would motivate
Speaking of
me to
feeling thirsty.
go out and do good if not some sense of self-satisfaction. The only thing I'm feeling right now is guilt over the things that do motivate me.
Not now,
Kinda
PayPal.
makes me
This
not
is
wanna
3
do
ads so
anything.
far, and it's
Oh,
only 20
gosh,
minutes
I'm
in.
sorry about whatever I said to make you feel that way. Doing nothing is even worse.
What?
Never mind. I'm sorry.
Worse? Worse than what?
I don't know if I should say.
You might as well.
I'm kind of scared too. Look, Patton, I already feel bad, so I'd rather not feel bad and confused.
No.
Doing nothing is worse than doing a good thing for the wrong reasons. Like, we talked about how you have to. Well, I think it's good to give your money to a good cause if you were planning to spend it on something you don't need. And I feel like the same principle kind of goes for spending time? Maybe? Time spent serving up knuckle sandwiches to bad guys in a video game could maybe be better spent serving up soup and sandwiches to the hungry in a local shelter.
I have a difference of opinion on this one, Patton.
Thank you, Logan.
I'm sure we're all familiar with the somewhat tired metaphor for self-care. You must put on your own oxygen mask before helping your fellow passenger. An analogy that warns against the practice of helping others with their personal issues when you yourself are in need of help.
I do need help.
It's ironic that illustration's so overused at this point because it has almost become as easy to tune out that advice as it is to tune out the actual safety instructions on a flight. Easy and very dangerous. In the event that a plane cabin becomes depressurized, you do not have long to secure your oxygen mask before you risk your oxygen saturation levels dropping too much, leading to hypoxia, which is just insufficient oxygen for life functions. Hypoxia's symptoms can include an inability to communicate, confusion, unconsciousness, and possible death.
3 out of 4 of those are normal for me. Do I have hypoxia right now?
Having heard a piece of information before does not give you license to ignore it in the future, especially when the consequences of forgetting are so perilous.
Logan, I completely agree with you. But I really don't see how that relates to what we're talking about. Yeah, Logan, like you said earlier, this isn't really your area of expertise. Patton never said Thomas couldn't help himself, especially in a situation as dire as putting on his oxygen mask in a ground-bound plane. Of course I wouldn't say that. I've agreed in the past that Thomas should take the time to make sure he's doing okay and to temporarily put himself first if he needs to.
And just like all of the moral dilemmas we've been discussing, it can seem easy to confidently state what you would do in a difficult situation without legitimately knowing how you would behave when your instincts take over. In theory, you believe Thomas can and should take some time to care for himself, but every point you've made in today's discussion has contradicted that sentiment.
What? How? I don't think video games versus community service is a threat to Thomas taking care of himself.
Nearly every answer Patton has given to the moral questions throughout this discussion has suggested that a moral life is a life without spending surplus capital and time on leisure activities. Dr. Robert A. Stebbins defined leisure as activity engaged in during free time which people want to do and actually do in either a satisfying or a fulfilling way or both. Leisure means experiencing freedom. It's your time and you do what you want with it, which in turn contributes to a feeling of control and improved self-esteem. A lack of control and self-esteem are two factors that you all now understand can worsen Thomas's relationship with intrusive thoughts, and they have. Additionally, Drs. Iwasaki, Messina, and Hopper wrote that leisure time promotes a joyful life. And if that isn't enough, pleasurable activities stimulate the production of neurochemicals which can then improve one's physical health. Leisure is something that Thomas needs more of in his life in order to feel like he has a life. And Patton is essentially suggesting that Thomas isn't being as good of a person as he'd like him to be if he doesn't sacrifice his life for others.
Whoa! That is not what I said.
Oh, is it not? Please correct me if I'm wrong.
A little freaking.
You're wrong.
So if it was between Thomas's life or another's, you don't think Thomas should give his life up?
Whoa,
Oh, and this other person is an innocent little lamb.
Okay,
Or how about a group of innocents?
I don't actually. I would like to know, Patton. What should Thomas do in that kind of situation? I don't.
Doki Doki Literature Club.
Maybe. It's okay. Please calm down.
Rocker.
You all think of people who lay down their lives for others as the greatest heroes, so I don't know.
You don't know? Earlier you suggested that all people naturally understand right and wrong. So, should Thomas die so that others may live?
Yes, I mean, maybe.
Lily Patton.
Or maybe not. What do I know?
Wow, that's a stretch.
Thomas, if it's your life or Leslie's.
By the slow wit of Heracles, Patton, leave Leslie out of this one!
But how is Thomas supposed to feel empathy for this person if he has no one to visualize?
Is there no one else he can feel empathy for?
You're right, Roman. Thomas's life or Lee and Mary Lee's. What do you say, Thomas? I don't know the right answer here. It's
that's
up
too-
to you.
This isn't working. This entire conversation has become so muddled due to a constant, misleading misuse of conscientious language. You'll need a sharp side to cut through all this bull. Frog. A sort of subterfuge specialist.
No, that's Deceit's music.
The Lord of the Lies.
Oh!
Whoop, whoop! Reptilian Rapscallion! Reptilian Rapscallion! We've got a
Let's go! And we still don't have
Pat.
Patton.
Logan. Nothing at all, and I resent the question. Hold on! What are you talking about, Deceit? Who's misleading
Is
who?
that-
Patton's misleading you.
Frogwash! I may be amphibian, but I can't say that I am amphibian.
That's richer than Jeff Bezos coming from the self-proclaimed Lord of the Lies. Do keep it up with the wordplay. It never gets old. He didn't mislead you on purpose, Thomas. I don't think the little guy, or the big frog, is capable of that sort of thing. He may have just threatened the life of Broadway's original Aaron Burr himself, but you leave our rosy-cheeked riveter alone. Patton, I'm loving this new direction that you're going with your rhetoric, sprinkling in a few maybes, who knowses, or what do you think? Why are you doing that?
Because I found out that I was being too tough on Thomas and it was driving him hopping mad. So, I tried to share my thoughts in a softer way.
Right, because making Thomas feel inadequate for not dying in someone else's stead isn't tough at all. Here's the thing, Patton. Pushy is pushy. That faux flexible rhetoric that you're using to soften your approach doesn't change your intentions. It just disguises them. That was just a hypothetical. Patton's not actually suggesting that Thomas should pursue martyrdom.
Right, I don't want Thomas to croak. That's my job.
We're talking about what-ifs, worst-case scenario kind of stuff.
What I am saying is Thomas has a really good life that other people don't. You're over there talking about putting on your oxygen mask before helping another passenger, but we're not in a crashing plane. If the situation was that serious, then sure, he can focus entirely on himself. But does he deserve it? I don't know. Man, I don't know if I can believe whatever you tell me. Treating yourself is something that you can take too
Did he just knock
You
out
can
Thomas?
take anything too far,
I just
Patton.
realized this is still their living room.
You've taken things too far. The plane is going down. You need to give Thomas some room to breathe.
Mental health. Oh. 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 Switch, go away.
I really don't know what I'm talking about.
Oh my god.
I can't not know. Patton, what are you saying? We can still beat him. We've beaten him before.
You don't have to.
Ow. Sorry, I have not looked in this direction the whole time. Don't give up. No, no.
He's got a point.
He's right. I'm bringing this plane down. What? How? He's the actual snake on the plane. And I, for one, am tired of this morality-fighting snake on this metaphorical plane. You know, I'm actually glad you brought up the oxygen mask illustration again, Patton. Yeah, and that means
I'm so
you're
happy
not
that
glad,
Deceit
right?
is
Of
having
course
like an
not.
active
He's just trying to build up a false confidence
there's
in you
nothing
so that you
negative
can
going on
plummet
here.
to
He's
even
trying to
greater
fight
depths.
for
That
Thomas.
does sound
Nobody
like
can
a very
argue against
funny,
this and
wholesome
spin
prank,
it
but
on
no, I mean it.
its head
The
and make him
idea
evil.
is that you need not reach for your oxygen mask unless the plane is crashing. But when you apply that logic to real life, the analogy falls apart. A plane going down is an emergency. But self-care shouldn't be put off until you experience a mental health crisis. Mental health
feel called
management
out.
is a little more like training to be a lifeguard. You have to spend time practicing and preparing and building up your strengths so that when you're inevitably faced with an emergency, you're better equipped to handle it. Wait, but you just used a job that's all about helping others as a metaphor for me putting myself first.
Yeah, Joy! I realized that before you brought it up, just as I'm sure you realize
Yes,
a metaphor
that's the
someone
truth.
makes up on the spot isn't going to be perfect. How about this? So, in some games, you have
For
to
real?
use your turn to give yourself a power boost or to heal yourself. And even though that move only benefits you in
Yeah,
that instant,
yeah.
it ultimately makes you a more helpful party member.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Not that any of you care, but I am unharmed, and I don't want to talk about it. I'm just here to deliver one last fact, then I will do you all a favor and spare you my company.
Oh, Logan,
No.
Peter Singer is an Australian philosopher and activist who champions the movement known as effective
Even Deciet is
altruism.
actively
The primary
listening.
feature that differentiates effective altruism from other moral philosophies is its practicality. It employs the heart and the mind so that effective altruism can earn its namesake and actually be effective. The aim is to
Okay.
help as many people as possible while maintaining a perfectly adequate standard of living. So, a poor, sick person giving 5 of their last 15 cents to an aid organization, while incredibly altruistic, is not effective altruism because that money won't go very far. And the act would only harm that person's already unacceptable standard of living.
Yeah.
Fellow effective altruist William McCaskill recommends that people who can, and are inclined to, should go into fields like banking or finance because more money earned means more money to give.
Right, like I said, I need to give myself a buff so that I can better help others.
And you need to maintain an adequate standard of living. You can't forget that part. If the variety of generosity that you subscribe to leaves you feeling depressed or like your life isn't your own, then you need to reevaluate things.
What do you know? If it came down to video games or volunteering at a local shelter, it actually might be okay to prioritize gaming sometimes, if video games are an essential ingredient in your recipe for self-care. Emphasis on the sometimes, though, right? We should still try to help those in need. Whatever, sure, if that's your thing. I mean, totally, yes, of course. But mental health should be regarded with the same life or death attitude as physical health. You've been taught to feel guilty for taking care of yourself. But you were also taught that Christopher Columbus was a pretty cool guy.
He was
A
not!
lot of your education was,
Don't get me started, I'm sorry.
of course, shit, forgive the pun. So what, we're supposed to do a complete 360 and head right back into Selfish City? You mean a 180. Don't you talk to me about math. You're not Fogan anymore. That's faux
Fogan.
Logan. If you're too slogan, you're right. Why don't we move on to something we're both familiar with, Roman? Mistakes. I was actually very impressed with you. You made such a noble sacrifice. Don't try to flatter me, Snake. I don't need to flatter you now, Roman. I mean this. You, in particular, made a significant sacrifice when you sentenced Thomas to attend the wedding instead of the callback. That was a costly choice. Thomas lost a huge opportunity and a good amount of mental health points in the name of being there for his friends. He didn't get anything out of it other than a new high score in Word Crush. That's the closest to an act of true selflessness that I believe is possible. And look, it served no one. Lee and Mary Lee seem to have appreciated Thomas showing face as much as they would have appreciated any other guest's attendance. So if they gained nothing and we lost something, then
Yeah.
it was a net loss. So maybe selflessness isn't always the answer. Okay, well, that's over and done with, so what now? You need to unlearn that selfish is a dirty word. And for your sake,
Sounds like
you need to start
somebody's knocking on the
practicing
door.
a little more selfishness. In moderation, as all things should be. Well, almost all things. What do you mean by almost?
What does that mean?
You're right. We wouldn't want to plant too many trees. Just think of all the CO2 that might be absorbed. Huh? You got me there. Well, when is it enough? Trees? No! Selfishness!
Trees?
How long must we act selfishly until Thomas is ready to start putting more good into the world? A good question for another time. But I'm sure you'd have us believe that that time will never come. And even if it does, what's to stop you from telling us that we've done enough good for others, when maybe we could do more? Oh, Thomas dropped a dime in the St. Jude charity box. What a good boy you are, Thomas. Nay, I say! We are ethically compromised if we give the Bananaconda a seat at the table.
Bananaconda. No. He's trying to help.
I don't know that we are. We can't
Yes!
trust him.
Yes!
He's asking us to go
Trust
back
Snake
on
Boy.
things we've known for years. Rights and wrongs. Shoulds and shouldn'ts. How can we trust him? I don't have a simple answer to that question. But here's a start.
What are you going to do? What are you doing? What are you do? What's on your hand? Your name! His name!
Janus.
Janus.
Janus? What are you, a middle school librarian?
Stop laughing at everybody's
It's a
names.
stupid name. Oh, Roman, thank God you don't have a mustache. Otherwise, between you and Remus, I would know who the evil twin is.
Damn. Damn. Go Janus. I'm sorry,
Are you
Roman,
guys
but
seriously going to take his side? No, over me? Thomas. I thought I was your hero. You are.
no, don't be upset.
Wow.
No.
I can't believe this. Did you forget that he's evil? You're not. Or you're not supposed to be. You're supposed to be good. You can't. Roman. Everything's gonna be okay, kiddo.
I'm shaking.
We love you. Right.
No, not you too. Damn it.
Janus, do you think there's a limit on how many times someone can say sorry before you have to admit that they're just bad for you? Oh, definitely not. I'd love for someone to ruin Thomas's entire life one apology at a time. Okay. The reality is that it depends. On what? Where to start? How many things have they had to apologize for? How frequently do they have to apologize for things? How terrible were the things that they
have
did?
to apologize for.
One of the biggest factors, in my very humble opinion, is whether or not they seem to be making an honest effort
Improvement.
to do better.
Yes.
Even if that effort is counterproductive? That does sound very annoying. Again, it depends. I guess I know who I need to apologize to. I'm so sorry, Leslie.
It's okay. Just hope today we all learned not to...
Thank you, Leslie. Yes, Leslie Odom Jr., everyone. Thank you. Yes, thank you. This is Sandra Sides, not Odom Sides. I'm not threatened at all. And Thomas, yes? I think I finally understand what my problem has been. Oh, yeah? Time. When you were younger, pointing you in the right direction was a little easier. Those examples I gave earlier, don't kill, don't steal, they're not really difficult conclusions to come to. Even those can get kind of complicated. I don't want to think about that. But maybe that proves my point. A more mature person comes with more mature moral questions.
Yeah.
Like I told you before, sometimes I don't know the way. But when I told you that, you were so scared. I couldn't bear it. So I said to myself, all right, Patton, Thomas needs you. You're responsible for his morality.
It's your job
You can
to
never
guide him, even if you don't
Not
know. But that's
have
not.
an answer for him.
That's not.
And then I promised you I'd keep fighting. Unfortunately, I learned the hard way that giving too simple of answers to complicated questions can do more harm than good. So, I'm sorry. Again, it's
okay.
Patton. I know you'll do anything you can to make things right.
Yes.
Thanks for trusting me still, kiddo.
Kiddo.
I'm gonna go check on Roman. Before you go, I think I understand now what it means, Deceit being here as a part of me. Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah, that's cool. Talk about me like I'm not here. Yeah, and it's not that I'm an evil liar or even a fractionally fiendish fibber. Everyone has a capacity for deceit, including me. And all that means is I'm not perfect. Just like anyone else. And those imperfections don't make you any less worthy of love. Janus, I'll take care of him.
No, I didn't mean deposit. Crap.
So,
So?
I suppose now we begin compiling a list of people we need to nudge down a flight of stairs until they hold another round of callbacks.
Oh my gosh, no.
Relax, I'm kidding. Of course I'm kidding.
Of course.
Baby steps.
No! No baby steps. No steps. And no throwing people down them. No violence.
You're right, of course. There are much less barbaric, much more fun forms of sabotage. Don't make me regret trusting you.
He's pushing his luck.
Don't want to be stuck with an evil snake boy.
You're not stuck with an evil snake boy. You're just stuck with a snake boy.
Oh, bro.
That's
But
sassy
seriously,
with a
using a mobile
smile.
game to hide from your sadness and regret at the wedding doesn't count as leisure time. Take some time for yourself, Thomas. You're right. Oh, I'm sorry.
You're
what was that? I
right.
couldn't hear you.
You're right. Yes! It feels so good! So good!
Oh. And I know how much you love these constant dilemmas, so please, keep overthinking everything. Yeah, I do need to work on that. While there is likely more that you can do to put good
That was
into the world,
virtual.
you shouldn't beat yourself up over what you can't do or what you haven't done before. It doesn't help anyone. So don't overthink it. Just try. All you have to do is try your best to be helpful and to do your part, whatever that is, with the understanding that you can never get doing good down to a science. It's gonna look different for everyone. And don't be afraid to give to yourself either.
He better be in the
If
end
someone
card.
else ever did as much for
He
you as
better.
you've probably done for yourself, you would owe them everything. Treat yourself the way you would treat someone who has endlessly labored to give you a better life, or who has always helped you to remain on your feet through the toughest, most emotionally challenging periods of your life. Try to find your balance between doing good for others and doing good for yourself, because finding a universally correct balance between the two is impossible. And sometimes painful. So just trust yourself. Until next time, take it easy, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Peace out.
Virgil, I swear to God. What's this?
Hey, guys.
Sorry, bud.
I forgot, you don't like door yelling.
Nah, no worries. It wasn't so much the yelling as it was people
That's a mood.
at my door.
Oh my gosh, I love you.
Yeah, can you actually marry both of us now?
Yes, please. I really want to spend the last 2 pennies in my bank account on a second wedding.
I'm sorry, guys. I can't be tamed. And it looks like you're gonna have to terrify some other more docile bachelor.
Damn.
Almost had him.
I know. You didn't tell me you guys were coming over. What's up?
Well, we just felt kind of bad because you made it all the way out to our wedding and we barely got to hang out with you.
Oh, what? I
Didn't notice.
Really? Because you were sitting alone at the reception.
I was just trying to take it all in, you know, a lot of mental snapshots. I'm trying to go less digital this year.
But you're on your phone.
I was also taking literal snapshots with my phone. I mean, phones are barely digital at this point, right?
Totally.
Well, regardless, we thought we'd try to win back your friendship by bribing you with some treats.
What? You guys didn't have to do that.
Mimosas and pastry.
Brunch Tuesdays.
Brunch Tuesday.
Little throwback.
Oh my goodness gracious! It looks like we're gonna make it the mosta this afternoon with some mimosas.
So this is like what you do for a living? Comedy?
Yeah, I'm a hack.
Well,
I'm a
are you busy? We could just leave these with you.
Oh no, I was just playing Kingdom Hearts, a game that really centers around the concept of friendship.
They wouldn't know.
Would you care to join me?
Why would you even ask us that?
What about us showing up at your door with a bunch of brunch and some booze juice makes you think that we enjoy your company?
Cool, come in. We can also do something else if you don't want to play video games. Well, seems like things worked out after all. Guess I was wrong about everything. You and I both know that's not true.
I think Odom Sides would be cool. Watch Odom Sides, do what he can do. What is up, everybody? Scary, but I feel like.
Okay. Okay.
Ah.
Gosh.
But Virgil wasn't. Virgil! No! Ah! I am physically pained because not only is Virgil upset, and nobody's addressed this in 9 freaking months. Now Roman's upset. I'm upset. I am... I'm fine. I'm fine. Alright, suddenly I've forgotten everything that's happened. This might be one of my favorite episodes. I haven't had anything that's come close to a favorite episode since the, my original and the Q&A video. It's been a long time since I've had, another one that I've been so excited and so, into. This took so much effort. All of that video game stuff. And, all of the little things, the little Logan at the bottom, which I'm gonna have to go through and reread everything that he said because I can't read and listen. I'm already a slow reader. I am, honest to God, shocked. We now know Janus's name. I'm so excited. I'm so happy about that. I do find it a bit peculiar that there seems to be a trend with Remus, Janus, but not Virgil. I'm wondering if whatever the third dark side is gonna have an us name as well. Because it'd be weird if they both had us names and there was no importance to it whatsoever. But I'm really upset that... Wait, what changed? Princey was, definitely on Janus's side in the courtroom episode. I forget what it's called. Wait, wasn't that... That was just Selfishness versus Selflessness, the original. Oh, well, that makes sense. Yeah, courtroom episode. He was on his side. He was really, he was friendly with, Janus. What in between that episode and this episode happened that completely warped Princey's vision of, Deceit and made him hardcore evil? Something changed, am I right? I'm very, very confused. If it's not already obvious, I am very upset that Virgil wasn't in this at all, and no, it wasn't even addressed. Not even a half of a line of dialogue about that. The closest was the freaking second where Thomas looks over at Deceit and he's like, oh, my neck hurts because I haven't looked at that direction in this entire video so far. That's the closest we've got. Okay, what else? I can already tell that there was so many little, Easter eggs and, small references in, all of the video game segments. Just, even just small icons that represent each side that they were, scrolling through. I saw that at once, but I'm sure there's so much that I missed. I bet in that, that section where they were talking about the healing and whatever, sometimes in a turn-based RPG, you've got to take a turn to heal yourself, blah, blah, blah. When they were looking through the items menu to find the thing to heal themselves, there was a bunch of things listed, and I bet there's some fun things in there I have to look at later. Oh, what else? I'm sure there was other stuff. There was so much. Oh, yeah. I don't think I forgot how in the freaking sprites, Roman has specifically 4 golden bars on his costume, because that's not how it is on his physical costume. And I would know because I'm still upset that I thought it was only 4 and I added 4 to my costume, and then as soon as I was like, yes, it's done, and I was looking at the reference pictures going, oh, look, it's accurate. And then I realized there's shots where he's leaning back or high enough up that you can see at least 2 more stripes under there. And from what I understand, there's it goes all the way down. So the fact that you only drew 4 bugs me. But yeah, this episode was so good. I'm so pumped up about this. I'm gonna go rant to my friends on Instagram now about it. I refuse to make any indications or promises about any new content anytime soon, because as soon as I'm oh, I'll be ready to do this in a month or 2, something else happens. It's always something else. I have so many things I want to do. Hopefully, eventually, I'll be ready to do them again. I've got so many ideas. Pretty sure I do this every time because I don't know why, because I don't have an outro for myself. But take it easy, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Peace out. Take it easy, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Peace out. I'm always out of frame. My hands are in frame every time. Let me try it again.